right. All right. Everyone can see my screen all right?
Yep.
Got it.
All right. So the goal of this is we're going to play Guess Who, right? So the first one is going to be kind of self-transparent to kind of get the wind of the game and how it works. And then after that, the goal is you're going to read a statement and then you're going to have four choices. The four choices are going to be the members of this particular group. And the goal here is I want you guys to start learning on how to like give referrals by identifying the person that you're looking at, or a keyword that someone says, or something someone does. And again, some of these images are going to be kind of, embellished a little bit to kind of put the sense of humor into things. But again, it'll at least trigger something in your memory to say, hey, you know what? I think I know someone that can fit that bill, and then give that referral to that person. Let's go. Let me convert this game. 596.
How do you come up with this stuff, essay? Seriously.
I hear voices. Literally.
He's a genius.
I'm just going to call it Atlanta for now just to keep this going. All right. So the first one should load and I think I have them set to 20 seconds between them. So I need you guys to kind of say these answers really quickly and I'll be able to answer them on the left. I already know the answers, right? So I can kind of tell you if you're right or wrong. And then at the end of it, we're going to talk about that.
Anybody else feel like they want a buzzer in front of them?
I do.
Their prizes.
Oh, this is so exciting.
Okay.
Ooh.
Jen.
All right. That is the right answer, right? So
Ding,
that means,
ding, ding.
let's keep it going. So the goal here is obviously you've had a virtual coffee with Jen to answer that, right?
Get shit in person. Badass. There we go.
Badass.
Okay.
Definitely not Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa. I would have a heart attack.
Well, you know, Mother Teresa was a badass.
She was.
That's true.
Next one up.
Oh,
Mo.
Mo. Yeah.
oh. Oh.
Where is Mo?
Don't know where Mo is, but you guys definitely at least know what he does.
Mo's dealing with life. It's all right. Let's see.
Next up.
Kristen.
Oh.
We need some music with this. I feel like it needs some like do 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 do.
I was thinking the same.
There you go. Sound effects are active now.
Lainey.
Lainey.
Cleany.
Oh, that's better.
I like that.
More dramatic.
Graphics go in there.
Next one up. I think I got 12 of them in here. This is obvious.
Rachel.
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 That could have been one word. All it needed to say is LinkedIn.
I had to put a little bit more fluff in there. So far, we haven't missed one.
Hildy.
Hildy.
We're winning.
I know.
We're winning.
So good. We're gonna get an A on our test. Mark.
Mark.
Oh my God, I want that.
That's hysterical.
Those points.
Yep, we're getting there.
Essay.
Essay.
All right, two more to go.
Kim.
Kim.
Did you find all these?
I know.
Did you make them?
Nah, I found them.
He doesn't sleep, basically.
Well, I wanted to make sure you guys could visualize the person. So
Darlene.
Bacon.
Darling.
yep. I think that should be the last one. Unless we got one more in there, maybe.
Fun.
Kathy.
Kathy.
Correct.
Very cool.
I like that.
That's fun.
Yes. So let me go ahead and close this out and close out this. So the goal of this entire thing is that obviously as a group, we know who each other is looking for. So part of that is understanding that every single visual that I use for this particular education spot is again something that you should be able to resonate to. You should be able to see that marketing director that's like design is God, just like what Hildy said earlier. Is like their design. So anytime you hear those keywords of design or marketing, then by default, then you should at least then think about at least giving her that referral to communicate with that person. And every single one of them, there's someone that may cross your path or someone that you may see on social media, someone that you may meet at a grocery store, but the idea here is to always resonate the visual side with the analytical side. And by doing these crazy gifts, then by default, we're painting a pictures. And keep in mind, I would not be able to do this presentation if I did not have coffees with every single person in the group. So the next step is, if you haven't had coffees with everyone, then you should. So you could be able to do things like this to be able to depict and tell who people are looking for and why and what they can do for them. Any questions?
That was awesome.
That was
Fun.
awesome.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good icebreaker too for
I have a related question, which is how many 30-minute coffees would you say it takes before two people who didn't know each other before this group should start feeling comfortable referring each other business?
I would say if the virtual coffees are done, not necessarily scripted, but if they're done well, I would say 3 to 4. Because by 3 to 4, like the initial coffee is the who are you? I don't know who you are. The second coffee is already got past that. Let me ask you a little bit more detailed questions. By the third coffee, you're getting a little bit more personal. And by the fall coffee is like, hey girl, hey guy, what's going on? Hey, how was the baseball game last weekend? And now you're at that point in time, you have the comfortability to have that conversation to then really know who they are and then give that lead. So I would say 3 to 4.
And I would say that even changes, I think, essay depending on the person. Like outgoing people, it does not take me that long.
Correct.
Me and Donnie had one virtual coffee and I was all in to be the president. One virtual coffee.
That's how I was with you, Jen.
And yeah, I mean, I think sometimes you just connect and click with somebody and you know what you know. And you know me, I'm always going to go with intuition and trusting that feeling. There's other people that I don't connect with, and it doesn't matter how many virtual coffees.
Yeah.
I don't get that vibe. I'm not moving forward. I'm not going to continue to schedule and also waste time and energy out of my day. But you know, if it's a slower process and it's like pulling teeth to get information out of them, for me, that's already not an ideal relationship, right? So I think that I love how you answered that essay. I think that was brilliant. But I also think it definitely depends on personality and just if you click or you don't.
Agree. Like I had 2 this week on Tuesday, and the first one one of them, I would refer her in a heartbeat. Like we instantly clicked. I totally get what she does. The other person, it was like pulling teeth to have a conversation. So,
and we're all adults here. I just want to throw it on the table. It's okay if you don't like somebody.
Correct.
It's okay if you do not like somebody. Don't just keep trying to have virtual coffees and make yourself like somebody. You know what you know.
It's also okay if you don't have a referral for someone to schedule more coffees, because sometimes it'll click and you don't even realize it'll click. And I also urge every one of us to have more than 2 coffees. Like there are definitely some people here that I've had 8 with, and there's some I've had 1 with.
And the referrals look like different things to different people. Once you get to know people, like Kimberly and I have gotten very close. She gave me doctor referrals last week. Sometimes it's not just a business transaction. I mean,
Absolutely.
she really bailed me out with what was going on with my health. So those are other things. Once you get to know each other and you build that trust, I think that, I mean, I know we're here to build our business, but it goes beyond that when you start creating relationships. Like Hildy, I sent you for what, a foot massage, like you end up sharing information that's not always just transactional.
Absolutely.
I think it goes back to like the education spot I did a couple weeks ago. I mean, people give referrals to people who they like. So, I mean, if
Yeah.
you're not building a general friendship and you're just coming in from a business standpoint, you got to think about it from like the old school good old boy network. The reason why that always worked because they can go golf together or go to a baseball game together. If that's not in your equation, then the likelihood of you giving or receiving a referral is going to be slim to none. So that's why I said kind of like maybe 3 to 4 to kind of test it out. Somebody could have had a bad day, right? And then again, 2 days later, they could be a completely different person. So you kind of want to weigh those options. And it goes back to another education spot I did about the triangulation. Obviously, Hildy, myself, and Mark, we have a triangulation, right? We can kind of share the same leads. Same way with Mark, Rachel, and myself. We can share the same leads. But if I'm talking to someone that's maybe a doctor, well, I may not have any leads or referrals for that person. We could be good friends, but I may not be able to give him referrals.
Yeah. I mean, and like to that point, the way what Lakeisha introduced as who she wants to meet is the same person I want to meet, right? She wants to meet that company where their founder knows the story and their staff doesn't, and that translates onto their digital properties where they're not they're not really having the correct messaging going out there. So
And there's just so many ways to do referrals. Like Rachel referred me to an artist that did my book cover. I mean, there's just by being somebody that she's noticed in LinkedIn, there's referrals in all different kinds of ways. And that was brilliant for me. And I'm so appreciative of that, Rachel. Yeah. So just keep your mind as expanded as possible and know that things can show up in expected and unexpected ways. It makes it a whole lot more fun.
Yep.
It's true. If y'all haven't, most of everyone did, but if you have not put your virtual coffees in the chat, please do.
So going into closing for his education spot, and we're going into the rooms next. I want you to kind of, and the rooms are pretty much organized, so you can kind of have this communication talk. I want you guys to talk about the visual representation of who you're looking for, not necessarily the name of the person, not necessarily the job title, and those could be included. But I want you to kind of visually depict that person, like what I did in that presentation. I want you to be able to, in mind sight, see that person, so that way then you can then give a referral.
Paint the picture.